Hello, my name is David Mello. I'm the Supervisor of Children's Services here at the Fall River Public Library, and welcome to the Book of the Month Club. And because Valentine's Day is just right around the corner, I thought we'd celebrate with some Valentine stories. Now, everyone is not keen on Valentine's Day, I'll have you know. One of those individuals is this fellow, Grumpy Monkey, otherwise known as Chimpanzee. He's just found out about Valentine's Day, and I don't think it's exactly his cup of tea. We'll find out what happens with Grumpy Monkey Valentine Gross Out by Suzanne Lang. Chimpanzee was enjoying a nap in the sun when a voice awakened him. "Jim, do you like my flower?" tweeted Oxpecker. "My boyfriend gave it to me because we're in love." "Love," said Jim. "Gross." "Don't be jealous. Also, my boyfriend is making me a romantic dinner for Valentine's Day," tweeted Oxpecker. "Valentine's Day? What's that?" asked Jim. "It's a day for love," replied Oxpecker, "full of hearts and sweets and flowers and romance. It's the loveliest, doviest, most wonderfulest holiday." "Yuck," said Jim. "It sounds more like the grossest holiday." Jim went to find his neighbor, Norman. "I bet Norman thinks Valentine's Day is as gross as I do," thought Jim. But when he got to Norman's branch, his neighbor was busy. "I'm making some lovely cards," said Norman. "Catch you later." Jim couldn't believe it. Even Norman liked Valentine's Day. Everywhere Jim went, there were couples being gross. Couples exchanging cards. Couples gazing into each other's eyes. Couples giggling for no reason. Couples slow dancing. Cuddling couples. Snuggling couples. And worst of all, kissing couples. Finally, Jim couldn't take it anymore. "Ew! Valentine's Day is the grossest holiday." "It's true. All the kissing is pretty gross," said Norman. "But Valentine's Day isn't just about couples. There are lots of kinds of love," said Norman, "like the love you have for your parents, and the love parents feel for their children," said Jim's mom. "And the love you feel for your friends," said Norman. "Valentine's Day is about showing the people you love that you love them," said Jim's dad. Jim's arms were full of things that made him feel loved. It was a nice feeling that he wanted to share. And so he made valentines for all his friends and all his family. Maybe Valentine's Day isn't so gross after all, he thought. Gross! Except for the kissing. And that's Grumpy Monkey's Valentine's Gross Out. I don't think he's so gross about Valentine's Day anymore, though.
Hi, I'm Kyla Cabral, Head of Adult Services, and today I'm reading Froggy's First Kiss by Johnathan London and illustrated by Frank Remkowitz. It was the week before Valentine's Day, and for Froggy, Valentine's Day meant candy, but it also meant love. At school, Froggy's mind wandered. "Froggy!" cried his teacher, Miss Witherspoon. "What?" "Kindly pay attention, dear." And that's when he saw the prettiest girl frog in the whole world, the new girl in class. Her name was Froggalina. And when she smiled at him, his insides got all soft and wiggly, like he had caterpillars for breakfast. "Froggy!" called his teacher. "What?" "Your eyes should be on your work, dear. It's not polite to stare." "Oops," said Froggy. At recess, Froggalina smiled at him through the monkey bars. He was hanging upside down, and when he saw her, he fell smack on his head. Bonk! At lunch, Froggalina sat beside him. She smiled and opened her lunchbox. "I have a treat for you, Froggy. Close your eyes." And she gave him a big, juicy apple. After lunch, Froggy and Froggalina played tetherball together. Froggalina wound up and socked the ball. And Froggy was so busy gazing into her eyes, the ball hit him in the head, bonk, and knocked him down. Oh, poor Froggy. At lunch the next day, Froggalina smiled and opened her lunchbox. "I have a goodie for you, Froggy. Close your eyes." And she gave him a cookie shaped like a heart. That's so nice. That afternoon, Froggy and his class made valentines. They cut hearts out of paper, some big, some little, some red and some pink. And on just one, Froggy wrote, "I love you." He didn't want any of his classmates to see it, especially Froggalina. So he worked underneath his desk. "Froggy!" called Miss Witherspoon. "What?" "Please work at your seat, dear, and don't make such a mess." When Froggy stood up, he hit his head on the desk. Bonk! Everybody laughed, especially Froggalina. At lunch the next day, Froggalina sat beside him again. She smiled and opened her lunchbox. "I have a surprise for you, Froggy. Close your eyes." And what do you think she gave him? A big, juicy kiss! Smack on his cheek. "Oh!" spluttered Froggy, looking more red in the face than green. Froggy grabbed his lunchbox and flopped away. Flop, flop, flop. His tummy felt so weird he couldn't even eat his lunch, not even his dessert. On the bus home after school, everybody teased him, even Max, his best friend. They sang, "Froggy has a girlfriend, Froggy has a girlfriend." "No, I don't!" cried Froggy. When the bus stopped, he flopped all the way home. Flop, flop, flop. But his heart felt heavy. Was it love? Was it hunger? Was it his backpack filled with Valentine's cards? "What did you do at school today, Froggy?" asked his mother. "We made Valentines," said Froggy. "Did you make one for someone special?" Froggy almost turned purple and flopped into his room. Flop, flop, flop. But the next morning on Valentine's Day, Froggy served his mother breakfast in bed and said, "Mom, that someone special is you." And he gave his mother the big heart with the "I love you." And his mother gave Froggy a whole bunch of kisses, candy kisses. The end.
It just so happens our next Valentine's Day is about as equally an ornery character as Chimpanzee was. Meet Rotten Ralph. He's a pretty rotten cat sometimes. And as you might have guessed, he's not going to be too crazy about Valentine's Day either. But we'll see what happens in this story, Rotten Ralph's Rotten Romance, by Jack Gantos. One morning, Sarah woke Ralph up with a great big kiss. "Happy Valentine's Day," she said. Rotten Ralph put his pillow over his head. "You better be sweet," said Sarah. "We're going to Petunia's Valentine's Day party. You know what that means." "Oh, it means sticky, gooey, wet, drippy kisses," Ralph said to himself. He rubbed smelly garbage all over his fur. "No one will kiss me now," he thought. "Don't be so difficult," said Sarah as she sprayed him with perfume. "Everyone needs love and kisses." She made 2 big heart-shaped cards. "To my secret Valentine," she wrote in each one, "I love you." When Sarah wasn't looking, Rotten Ralph squished a stink bug into his. Ooh, that's terrible. Sarah put on a special Valentine dress. It was yellow with red and pink hearts. She dressed Ralph as Cupid. She gave little angel wings and put a halo over his head. Then she gave him a tiny bow and some arrows. "Be careful with those arrows," said Sarah. "Whoever you shoot will fall in love with you." They went outside and picked daisies. "This is how you tell if someone special loves you," said Sarah. She plucked off a petal. "He loves me," she sighed. She plucked off another. "He loves me not." Rotten Ralph pulled all the petals off his flowers. Not, he thought. In the candy shop, Sarah filled a big box with chocolate-covered cherries. "It is romantic to share candy with your special Valentine," she said, sighing. Ralph ate the cherries and replaced them with ants. Then he closed the box. "Look, Ralph," said Sarah. She pointed to a pair of lovebirds in a pet store window. "Aren't they sweet?" Ralph tried to shoot them with his arrow, but it bounced off the window. "I'm warning you, Ralph," said Sarah. "Anything your arrows hits is going to want to kiss you." When they arrived at the party, Petunia gave Ralph a great big smile. He's very shy, Sarah said, and dropped the Valentine cards into a big box. Petunia slipped a sneaky Valentine into the box. When you pick a card, she said to Ralph, you have to kiss whoever wrote it. Ralph gave Petunia one of his candies. No one will love you if you aren't nice, Sarah said to Ralph. Rotten Ralph did not want to be nice. He broke all the candy hearts in half. He poked a goldfish with one of his love arrows. It jumped out of the bowl and it kissed him. When it was time to choose the secret Valentines, Sarah was first in line. She reached into the box, and when she opened the card, she was upset. That's not very nice, she cried. My secret Valentine is a big stink bug. Petunia picked next. She chose the Valentine with Ralph's picture on it. Was signed to Petunia, your sweetheart Ralph. Kiss me, she said to Ralph. She cheated, Ralph thought. She made that card herself. He threw all his love arrows across the room. Oh, no, cried Sarah. Suddenly, everyone wanted to kiss Ralph. Don't kiss me! Don't kiss me! He said. But they kissed his nose and ears. They kissed his whiskers. They tickled his belly. They called him Cutie Pie and Pretty Kitty and Love Bug. Rotten Ralph groaned. He wanted to go home. Before we leave, you must kiss Petunia goodbye, said Sarah. But Petunia refused to kiss Ralph. He had rubbed dog food on his lips. When they returned home, Sarah filled the bathtub. She made Ralph take a bath. You hurt Petunia's feelings, she said. But she's not my Valentine, Ralph thought to himself. When he was dry, he jumped onto Sarah's lap. Oh, Ralph, said Sarah, and she fed him a chocolate kiss. You are my favorite Valentine. I am wonderful, thought Ralph. Then Sarah gave him a Valentine kiss. And that's Rotten Ralph's Rotten Romance. It's good that there's someone to even love such a rotten cat like Ralph on Valentine's Day. And we wish that you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day.
This next Valentine story is called Valentine's Surprise by Corinne, Demas, and illustrated by R.W. Alley. It was almost Valentine's Day. Lily wanted to make a Valentine for Mommy. She found some paper. I'll cut out a big heart, said Lily, and it will be a secret until Valentine's Day. On Monday, Lily worked at her little table by the window. She made a Valentine, but the heart was too pointy. She hid it under her bed. On Tuesday, Lily made a second Valentine. But that heart was too round. On Wednesday, Lily made a third Valentine. But that heart was too square. On Thursday, Lily made a fourth Valentine. heart was too curvy. On Friday, Lily made a 5th Valentine. But that heart was too skinny. On Saturday, Lily made a 6th Valentine. But that heart was too fat. Sunday was Valentine's Day. Lily made a 7th Valentine, but the heart was lopsided. And she used up all her paper. Lily felt so sad. What was she gonna do? She had an idea. Lily put all the hearts on the table and got to work. A little while later, Mommy came into the room. "Happy Valentine's Day, sweetheart," she said, and gave Lily a great big hug. "I tried to make you a Valentine," said Lily, "but it didn't turn out right." Mommy looked at the cutout hearts. "Oh, Lily," she said, "I love you. You made me a Valentine for every day of the week." "But none of the hearts are perfect," said Lily. "That doesn't matter," said Mommy. "The heart inside of you is." And it was.
So for all of you book lovers who are looking for a good story to read this Valentine's Day with your loved ones, visit the Fall River Public Library. We have a wonderful selection of items to choose from. We'll see you at the library.